Hey guys, Easy45 here. If you're watching this video, you're most likely aware of the recent tragedy revolving around Paladins and Hi-Rez Studios. I'm a little late talking about this, but this game means a lot to me, so I still want to add in my piece and sentiments. If you're not in the loop though, Hi-Rez Studios, who owns Evil Mojo Games, who are the creators of Paladins, did what most gaming companies do and did some pretty big layoffs. And not just Evil Mojo, but a lot of their studios. They did this so they could focus on their golden child Smite 2, but I'll get more into that later. But the results of these layoffs is Paladins and other Hi-Rez games that aren't Smite 2 are basically no longer receiving any major updates, so all the stuff you expect to come out of a live service game won't be present. The game will just be. This in turn is prompting people to say that the game will now die out, as having regular content for a live service multiplayer game is vital to keeping it afloat, because now there's nothing to really look forward to. No new game modes, battle passes, etc. Now the rest of this video I don't want to use a script for. I have talking points written down, but that's about all. I want this to be genuine and in the moment, because again, this game means a lot to me. So what better way to talk about this horrible event affecting Paladins than to play Paladins? So basically we're just gonna play a few matches while talking about the situation and everything. I just thought this would be nice to do. Play a couple of matches while talking about, I guess, the state that the game is in right now. So yeah, without further ado, yeah, I haven't played this game forever. Team Deathmatch is still not back, but that's, I don't know, I haven't kept up with, like I said, okay, TDM is there, play mix of TDM, King of Hill, and arcade, but it's not here in the default. We're just joining them, queue, probably gonna get siege. Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, this game means a lot to me. Like, I've played this game for a long time. I have almost 1,300 hours in it. That to say that basically, just to put that, yeah, I care about this game. Almost 1,300 hours. And I started playing when like Imani was the newest champion, I believe. That's when I got into it. I was introduced and the queue is taking forever, I thought. So like I've been playing way too much Marvel Rivals. Like I'm way too privileged right now. I mean, no, not actually. I used to come from the trenches. Like I don't remember Paladins queue times being this bad though. But they definitely aren't great, especially in ranked. Oh my god, you'll be waiting for like minutes to get into a ranked match. But yeah, Marvel Rivals has definitely been privileging me up. Okay, we're in a match. Okay, Frog Isle. So I got introduced to this game via one of my friends back in what, I want to say 2018. I don't think it was 2017. I think 2018. I don't know who to go. I mean, the flank's open. Dang, just showing off my no life and Drox's setup here. Amazing. So yeah, I was introduced to this game via a friend. I think Paladins was the first ever hero shooter I ever played. Like before that, I just played regular like shooters. When my my friend, he introduced me to this game. I remember they took me into a custom match, and the first character I ever selected was Genos. I was like, you know, look at this guy, he looks cool, let me select him. I go in and immediately I'm like, why can I not aim down sights? What the hell is this? Why can I not aim down sights? And obviously by this point, if you played hero shooters, you know that very few characters have actually aimed down sights. But this was my first time experiencing that. I'm like, yo, why can I aim down sights? What kind of game is this? And from there, it's history. Like, I guess I just got really hooked into the game when they introduced me. I remember my friend, he mained Koga. This was back when Koga was OP with his claws, before they like nerfed him with his claws. God, Godslayer or Darkstalker? I heard Darkstalker is pretty good now. I used to run Godslayer all the time. Like I would say I still am a Godslayer and Droxus. I just really like it. But I think I've been doing more, you know, let's go Godslayer for the good old times. And then I have one for Dash. Let's go with this. It's probably outdated as heck, card setup or whatever. Who do we have in the enemy team? Sirius is gonna stun. Yeah, but yeah, this was back when Koga was like super OP with his claws and everything. You can see them now because illuminates out of the game. It's so weird. So this was, I'm trying to bring up my points here. Oh my god. I basically became locked into the game from then on out because I don't know. We just played a lot of matches. It became like I knew I liked the game when even when my friends weren't available to play, I was playing Paladins by myself. There was one way I was spending my free time, it was Paladins. This guy's around here. See why I like Godslayer? See why I like Godslayer? I went for a whole Paladins phase, like on and off, like watching Frost Fangs, dang, I forget his name, but the one black guy, you know, like you guys know who I'm talking about. I'm probably gonna put his thing on the screen, but him basically. So yeah, I would play like long sessions. I would play Paladins like 4 or 5 hours a day by myself. Like my friends didn't have to be with me. I would just be solo queuing, which was painful. I did make a lot of friends for the game, online friends, like that I would play with as well. See, Godslayer, I died, but I took him with me. Of course, playing the game for so long, hiatus is what happened. I think that's people with it. I was about to say people with Paladins, people with any game really. You take breaks, like especially when it comes to games you have a lot of hours, and those definitely were over the years. Like I would play Paladins on and off. Once the love started to fade, like the love was still, I would say, always there, but it definitely disappeared. After a while, it was like I'm not playing this game as much as I used to. I got other games I want to play, so things I want to do. I'm just not interested in playing Paladins, you know, all the time, obviously. So Paladins has had a long history. You know, Paladins isn't perfect. You know, it's had a long history with the game being pretty broken. Most notably being OB64. I wasn't around during that period in time. Like I said, I joined the game when like Imani was like the newest person on the block. But for the people that were there, it was terrible. You know, it was a really bad time in the game's history, and that really kind of played a big part in where it is today. I mean, for one, people already saw it as an Overwatch clone and didn't give it any time of day based on that. Added on top of the game not being the best in the beginning, and it was just a recipe for, you know, the game earning a very bad reputation and just not sticking on a lot of people's radars. So the game has always had a more smaller but very dedicated fan base, because that's one thing I can definitely say about me and other Paladins fans is, for as much as we'll dunk on the game, we ultimately want to see it be in a good place. We care about it, you know. This game means a lot to me and a lot of other people, and we want to just see it succeed, so we dunk on it because it's like, it genuinely is from a place of love, where it's like, you know, if you know Evo Mojo, if you know Hi-Rez, they don't make the smartest decisions, and it's like, we know this, you're not being smart, and we want to see, you know, if you make this decision, that's not going to play good for the game, so you need to do something else. The game is also very buggy and glitchy. Why am I blank on the thing? But the game is very buggy and glitchy. That's an understatement to say, honestly. There are a lot of bugs and glitches that are still in the game to this day. One of which is like Tiberius T-posing and stuff like that. Like there's stuff you look at and it's like, how is this bug still in the game? I think this would have been fixed a long time ago. Like the game, if you really like know, if you're like deep into, I guess, the Paladins monosphere, whatever, you will know that the game is kind of fundamentally like not built very well. Like the way the devs made this game, a lot of people have talked about like a Paladins 2 or like a complete overhaul of the game. The game fundamentally cannot be changed because there's just so much wrong with it. If they really wanted to like overhaul the game, they couldn't. Like the game is not, it's not in, like fundamentally the game it doesn't have the best development, and so that's why it has a lot of the issues it does, and how a lot of those issues will ultimately like stay. If they wanted to if they wanted to like make a Paladins 2, overhaul the game or something like that, they couldn't. That's why the game has basically looked like this, looked the same, feels the same for like since its release, basically. I mean, a lot of things changed since its release, don't get me wrong, like definitely a lot of changes, but the Paladins I played when I first started is still pretty similar to the Paladins it is right now, currently, at least in my opinion. Like I said, if you would have had to do a lot of research on it, but yeah, the game does not have the best, I guess, code, to put it lightly. And so that definitely has contributed to a lot of bugs and glitches. Like if you're consistent or semi-consistent Paladins player, you've encountered bugs like during at least one play session. Like whether it be something as funny as just a visual bug, Tiberius T-posing, to something that is actually like hindering how you play with the various audio glitches. It's a lot. You know, the game has a lot not going in its favor, basically. I need to buy more items. I forget. Been playing way too many games you don't need to buy items. All right, now let's talk about, I could talk about Paladins for a long time, but I don't just read those be long. Let's talk about Hi-Rez. Hi-Rez and Evo Mojo's past actions. Like I said before, they don't make the best decisions. Especially Hi-Rez. Hi-Rez is very infamous game studio, in my opinion. They're basically known for publishing games like Paladins, games that, they're not dead, but they're definitely not the most popular games out there. I mean, we've got Paladins, Rogue Company, where's my aim? They have Paladins, Rogue Company, Realm Royale, just the only game that their most successful game franchise is Smite, which I'm gonna get into again soon. But Smite is their most popular game. Like they've had like the most and best collabs. Every other game, like Paladins, Rogue Company, to get the scraps basically. Like Paladins, I remember when we had our first major collab with like, and it was with Genlock. There's no hate to Genlock, but it's just like, really, that's it. And then we had a collab with Rambo skins, and we've definitely had better collabs, but it's nowhere near the way of Smite. I think Smite had an Avatar like collab, if I'm correct. It's just like, Smite gets the better stuff. We get the scraps. Rogue Company, I believe they also had a Rambo like skin as well. And it's like, Smite is their golden child basically. They have a lot of favoritism towards Smite because it's their most successful game franchise, so it makes sense. But it just usually results in their other game studios just getting sidelined, and it sucks. All right, 24-7. Not first time back. This actually was a pretty good game. Like I was not expecting that. Like I did good. Whole team did good. Everyone. Wait, he said team deathmatch, but it's payload. I mean, probably because they don't have a voice. Duck doesn't have a voice line for payload. Makes sense. Am I going to be able to go flank again? I keep forgetting Moji is a support now. I'm like, oh, somebody took flank. No, she's a support. It's so weird. Like changes like that was like, what? Really? Like, Paladins just makes those type of decisions. Really, I don't think I've ever played this map. I might go Zen low key. Or Maeve. What is this map like? I think Payload has much thinner maps. I think Zen just couldn't, like, because he doesn't have a lot of mobility. So if it's a more closed off map, I think he does better in those. But yeah, let's talk about the main thing, the future of Paladins and it getting, closed off. So again, when the news came that this game was no longer receiving major updates, I feel like understandably a lot of people are like, the game is dead now. It's what is this lobby right now? Why does my team have, first of all, they have no banners? Look at their levels, and then look at the enemy team. It's also the same, and then boom, level 99 Anara, 999 Nara, freaking level 209 Genos. What? Like, no hate to my team, but why am I getting the newbies? Yo, what is this? I swear, average Paladins game, bro. Yeah, I don't think that like, again, I understand, like, feeling like the game was already, like, again, it wasn't in the best place, but I also wouldn't say it was in the worst place. Like, I feel like the Paladins, we get a decent amount of plays. So I feel like the Paladins always in that in between where it's not dead, but it's not thriving. Like it's definitely not like, Marvel Rivals. And even with Overwatch, having all its problems, I feel like Overwatch is still in a better place. Well, definitely right now than Paladins. At least their game is not dead. Well, not dead, but, going through what Paladins is going for right now. Thanks, Moji. Moji heals. Interesting. With all this news going on, mass layoffs at Evo Mojo Games. And, it's understandable to think, like, with how Paladins operates, it's basically over for the game. Like, they think, well, okay, no more major updates. It's only a matter of time for the servers to go down. And I think that's understandable. But I don't think this news automatically has to mean that Paladins is over or will be over in a short time. There are a lot of games out there that don't receive major updates anymore and still remain a somewhat consistent player base. And I believe it's all up to community to keep this game alive. The Paladins community, like, again, I believe they're very loyal, very devoted. We want to see this game, do good. And so I think it's all up to the community to really keep this game, alive. Like, no more major updates, nothing to keep you interested in playing the game. And that's really going to show, like, who really loves this game, because you would be playing, if you really love Paladins, you're going to be, obviously you want new content and stuff, but you should be able to enjoy the game with what I don't know what that he was trying to compensate at all. But if we want to see this game thrive, if you really love Paladins, you're gonna want to play it, even if there's no more updates coming, and the game is just basically going to be in this continuous state of where it is now. I feel as though if you really enjoy this game, you shouldn't need constant, like, new content to play it. You're going to still try to play it and enjoy it, even though there's not a lot of content, to be being provided. It's really going to be up to us to keep this live, because think of, like, Team Fortress 2, for example. They get, like, you if you know, they get very little, if not none. I think that not too long ago they actually got like some kind of update. Like I think they went almost like, or if not a decade without like any like major updates or any updates whatsoever. And that, if you look at the player count, that game has nowhere near like being dead, even though like fundamentally you'd think it would be, no updates, kind of abandoned by the developers. You think that game wouldn't receive any more people, but it, or wouldn't have any very low player base, but it does. It has a very dedicated player base, and I feel like that's where the Paladins community has to be in the same, same space as that. We have to, find ways to keep this game alive. Everybody's saying that Paladins is over. I feel like it doesn't have to be. It's only going to be over if we say it's over, or I could be wrong and they do shut down the servers, which is still a possibility. Yeah, but I feel like that doesn't fund it. It doesn't automatically mean they have to, just because they're not getting any more updates, like, okay, now we're going to shut down the servers. Because I feel like if they wanted to do that, they would have just start with that, like, oh, mass layoffs, no more updates, so we're just going to be closing out the servers, which again can still happen, because if this leads to like, later on, it can be like, well, it's time to pull the plug, and I would be very sad to see that happen, but it is a possibility. But I feel like, again, if we really show the people left at Evil Mojo Games or just Hi-Rez that we really care about this game, we're going to continue doing stuff in the community, it's just up to the community to really make sure this game, thrives and perseveres. I know for me, I will always try to come back to this game. I always do. I take some pretty long hiatuses from this game, like I said, but I feel like I'm always going to try to come back. I always have come back. There have been times where I think, am I ever going to come back to Paladins? And I always end up coming back. The gaps might be longer and longer, but this game, I don't want to see it go. Because I have moved on to other games. Like I said, I used to play this game like all the time. I used to grind ranked like hell, and it was a terrible experience. I used to solo queue in ranked. That's how much I played this game. But that has to say something. Like I willingly, if I didn't have anybody with me, I would solo queue play ranked. That's dedication to a game, bro. I would never do that with any other. I don't do that with any game. Well, I do it with Marvel Rivals, but that's really only because it's not for the love of grinding ranked, but more for, I'm just trying to get the skin. Really, I only play Marvel Rivals ranked for the skins. Like I avoid ranked in games like the plague, bro. I only play ranked in games if it's for like a reward. And back in the day, it was for Paladins does have ranked rewards, but I would actually want to do it to improve, to get back to the game, because I used to be deep in the game. I forgot to mention this, but I used to be obsessed. I used to watch the freaking devlogs of this game. I think I'm going to say that later, but I used to watch the devlogs of this game. I really cared about this game. I read all the patch notes. I wanted to improve in ranked, so the fact that I really willingly played ranked, not just for the rewards, because I generally wanted to play ranked. I would grind ranked with my actual friends, online friends, anybody I could, because I generally wanted to play ranked. And again, that says a lot. So I do want to always come back to this game in some shape, way, or form. I just don't want to abandon it. Like I said, almost 1,300 hours. Clearly, I like the game on some level, or have liked the game on some level. Don't run now, you came to me. Yeah, it's just really up to the community and players, like not just like you if you play the game, but me, like I said, me. So like if I want to see this game do well, I gotta show that. I gotta come back when I can. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't always want to come. I would say I'm dedicated to this game, but I have, at the end of the day, we all have lives. You don't have to, I'm not telling you to play Paladins, play Paladins all the time in your free time, but don't try to give up on it. If you're somebody that still plays the game consistently, like right now, either that being like you're off a hiatus, or you never stop playing the game, you consistently play the game, then continue to do that. Continue trying to do that. Don't let this diminish you, basically. Like if you already played the game semi-regularly, keep playing the game semi-regularly. Don't be like, all right, the game's dead, I'm done. And like I said, I'm being honest, I haven't played in like months, I guess consistently, at least. Like when me and my friends initially heard the news, we played like a match or two, and then we got off, go back to Marvel Rivals. But like it's like, being honest, like I'm not in my Paladins era right now. I might come back because I'm actually enjoying myself right now playing these games. But yeah, I'm not in my Paladins era right now, like whatsoever. But I do want to see this game continue to be what it is. Like clearly the game is showing me a sign, because winning 2 Paladins matches in a row, let alone doing this good. That's usually not my Paladins luck, so I'm surprised, genuinely surprised. Yeah, just playing this game for a very long time, and I want to see it do well. I'm about to move over to the that's basically just want to say just like 2 matches talking about it, because this game, again, it means a lot to me. Like, just sum it up all up. The game is buggy, the game has had some bad decisions, the game doesn't have the best backing by Hi-Rez. You know, there's a lot not in its favor, you know, there's not a lot going for it. And despite that, this game has remained a consistent, dedicated player base. Overall, I feel like that should continue. If they pull the plug, if the servers go down, the servers go down. But I feel like if they're not planning to do that, if the game, you know, doesn't go under, like, I'm pretty sure they'll pull the servers if they saw that like 100 people were playing a day. So if everybody quits, probably. But I feel like if that's not really their plan, then I feel like we should continue enjoying Paladins. And it's sad to know, like, no new battle passes, no new champions, because we're talking major updates. A major update would technically be a new champion. I'm kind of glad, honestly, like, they slowed down on that, because they used to be, if you know, they pumped out. I feel like when Ray came out, they just started pumping new champions out with similar mechanics to other champions. I feel like maybe slow down, please. They're not new anymore. Ray came out like technically years ago now, which is crazy to think about. Like, I think she came out in like what, 2021, 2020. Saxine's, Jesus Christ, that's insane to think about. I've been playing this game a long time. Yo, crazy to think when Ray was still new. But yeah, I want to see this game in a good place. I don't feel like the plug should be pulled. So yeah, just gonna that's really all I had to say here, I believe. We're gonna so I'm just gonna go over to the outro. But yeah, don't put a plug on Paladins, you know, because I care about it and because I spent a lot of money on this game. Like, oh my god, like all that money down the drain, that would be insane to think about. The amount of, oh, what were they called again? The freaking they don't do them anymore, which sucks. But the like yearly pass thing, the season pass, bro, the season pass, where I got all these like new skins for the champion and stuff, bro. The season pass, they don't do that anymore. But bro, like the season pass, like, the amount of season passes I bought. So yeah, that's really all I had to say on the game. I'm gonna roll over to the outro. And yeah, wishing the best for Paladins. That's all I had to say on the situation. It sucks to see a game that was a big part of my life get this sort of treatment. I knew this game wasn't going to be around forever, but the circumstances of how this all happened is what hurts the most. I talked about this in my Spider-Man 2 video as well, but we're in a state of the gaming industry just laying off people as they please. And it sucks to say it's not too much of a shock to hear that another gaming studio did mass layoffs. It just hurts a lot more because it's a studio I particularly care a lot for. Was Evil Mojo the best development studio out there? No. But for all the game has been through, they stuck with it, adding new things to the game that even though we didn't all like sometimes, they still were determined to make content for the game. I used to watch those dev streams for the new updates all the time. 2-hour-long videos of the devs going through all the new changes for that major update. So to know a lot of those guys are gone now is just sad, straight up. Devs should be allowed to create, whether it be on a single player game or multiplayer game, without higher ups having corporate greed and ruining everything for them. I wish only the best for this industry because I love it, truly. Paladins isn't the first game to be affected by it, and it won't be the last, unfortunately. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are on everything in the comments. I'd love to doom scroll more on your opinions about the matter. Take it easy, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Every fish in the sea's the one for me.